Hello, Gina.
Hello, Michael. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm actually getting a little bit rest after dinner and preparing for night, and I'm really excited to do this first podcast with you. And thank you for actually becoming the host for
Of
this
course.
event. So, what are we going to talk about today?
So today I wanted to talk to you a bit about your new campaign called When the Muses Speak, the World Listens. I just had a few questions talking
Mhm.
about the history, some of your participants and stuff like that.
Okay, so first of all, campaign is not exactly new. It's already fourth installation.
Okay.
We had two back in June of 2020. We had one in March, in February. I'm sorry, in February of this year, and this is going to be the fourth one. And we fully intend to continue, hopefully on a monthly basis. Uh, so yeah, it's a very interesting story behind this campaign. You probably remember last year when civil unrest started after George Floyd death,
Right.
and there were a lot of real, unrest is kind of a very small word to describe what was going on. And I was at work and I was listening to the radio and looking at the internet, looking at what's happening. And then I just went to the break room where we have windows. And I've seen the terrible, terrible dark sky. It was a day when we have actually a tornado here in Philadelphia with 100 something degrees and with very strong winds. I had like a lot of trees fallen in my backyard.
Oh goodness.
And I just thought, oh my goodness, it's nature doesn't like what is going on. It just gets so much bad energy from people, from constant bickering, from constant noise, from constant argument that
Right.
was going on. So it just responded kind. So, and then I thought, okay, so what can we do about it? What's possible? And I remember the actual, it's a Russian saying. It's a Russian saying, my first language is Russian, so I switch back and forth. And if you would translate this saying from Russian, it says when guns are talking, music are quiet. So I thought, okay, what would happen if we would turn this saying upside down? If they would say, when muses are talking, world is quiet. Or world listens. Maybe events or a couple of different variations. But I shared this idea with several friends. I sent, actually asked my friends artists what they think about, and they actually they became really enthusiastic. And then we figure out the format. And the format was, as you probably already know by now, a series of videos, either live or recorded by various artists of different disciplines and from different ethnic and cultural backgrounds, just trying to calm people. Plus, we came up with hashtags to make sure that people who participate in this campaign forget about political arguments for one day and just enjoy the music, poetry, uh, paintings, and all this great stuff that art produce.
Right. Something very unifying in the midst of everything.
Yes, exactly. And we did a first campaign on June 10. Then another one on June 28th, because as soon as we conducted the first campaign, it just went, I started getting requests from different artists if I can participate. If I can participate. Do we want me to participate? Because we believe in this. And the pictures that you see behind my, in my background, it's actually was interesting story behind it. We have a designer who works with me on a permanent basis, contract. And when I talked to her about this idea, and I asked, what do you think? What we will need some kind of background, some kind of poster for this event. And she told me, oh, you know what? I have just, I think, perfect thing for you. Like several years ago, I created on the whim this collage. As you can see, it's a sculpture, it's a musical instrument, it's and a leaf.
Mhm.
Don't think it's Corona.
Let's hope not.
No, it's not. I already had my shot yesterday, so I'm good. So yeah, and she sent it to me. I loved it immediately. We incorporated, and since then it became our official, one of our official images. There's another one that you can see actually on website, on Facebook page that she created as well. So that's how it started. Then we kind of stepped aside. We decided, okay, it was maybe one-time event. Say things got a little bit quieter, and we went off with our programming, with our season, and then elections happened, and start to heat up again, and start to make a lot of. I would say, right now, I actually at this point, I had an impression that people live in parallel universe because they were talking about the same event in completely different language. They couldn't agree on anything. So it was unreal. So I figured, okay, let's probably restart this campaign. Let's restart this campaign and let's do it. So I sent we set up a paid web page. We again sent request for submissions, a call for artists to our pretty big artist list. At last count was around 300 people. And I started getting submissions. I started getting submissions from very unexpected places. From England, from Albania, from Italy, from Ukraine, from the United States. Some of them came from the people I knew really well. Some we had, but we'll probably talk about this a little bit later. But it became incredibly successful. It was a great event. We had very good response from people, and then we decided, okay, it's better, it's better to do it on a monthly basis. Maybe make it kind of a staple, at least for now, until we get clear to go back to live events. But still, it allows to engage people that otherwise you wouldn't be able to engage.
Right. Yeah. So after kind of describing what the campaign is and what inspired you to create it, who are you hoping to kind of have participate, or who are you who will you have participating in it so far? I know you've had many guests on already from all these different places, but who do you have coming up as well?
Okay, so basically, this Saturday is our next campaign, and we already have a full schedule. And this time it's going to be not just recorded videos, but we're going to have 2 live events. The Zoom, this Facebook Live possibly. We're still working out that technical details, but Zoom definitely. And it's going to be a paid event because it's incredibly unusual. Let's put it this way. So, and again, I just want to kind of pivot back a little bit. One of the things that happened during these events, we got people, artists themselves, talking to each other, not just presenting their videos, but they were talking to each other, they exchanged information, they started to work on new projects. And I have already an artist who participated in our fourth event. And it's a Russian poet who lives in Italy, Julia Pikalova. She just, by the way, just published her first book about probably 3 weeks ago. This time in Russian, but she's translated in Italian, and the book is. And for this event, she prepared new poetry in 3 languages. So it's going to be one person reading in Russian, her, another person reading in English from Boston, Massachusetts, and third one reading from Italy, in Italian, same poetry.
Wow.
So it's something that I'm going to be really looking forward to. Then we got like lately, if you would look at our artistic group, Multicultural Arts Exchange, you would notice a lot of posts about hard jazz music, 30s, 20s. In our previous marathon, we had a hard jazz group, Hot Club Philadelphia, this Barry, participating in the event. And from him, it kind of went viral. We got introduced to different artists who work in this genre, in hard jazz and burlesque, gypsy jazz, they call it sometimes. And this time, we actually got two entries from this field. And it's one of the most popular performer in Philadelphia, Drew Nugent, who makes, who donated half an hour home concert for our program. And it's one-man show. It's one-man show who will definitely help you to feel much better dancing, I guarantee. And then all of a sudden I got another submission from all the way from Seattle, Washington, from another gentleman. His name is Richard Brisbois, who is working in the same genre in burlesque, burlesque cabaret. So he submitted 2 songs, and he submitted actually songs that are theme, because I kind of forgot to mention it. The theme of this marathon is healing power of the arts. So we submitted, he submitted this 2 melodies, 2 songs with themed around the topic. Themed around the topic. People will recognize immediately when they hear. And another performer who I've been, like we just talked today. We just talked today for the first time on the phone, even though I knew about him and he knew about me since, I would say, 2011. We were in the same organization, we were in the same in the same circle of people, but we knew each other just by email, by different. Again, he saw our email campaign, he responded, he sent his submission, and it's a combination of painting and meditation music. So it's going to be very relaxing, very quiet, very thoughtful. So those are videos. Videos from people who responded to our events, who came from different uh, directions. But as you probably know, we have now another program. They work with Magical Arts Nest group. And we have developed original music, original videos. And during this last months, we actually had a couple of very interesting developments in this front. First, we got we were working with this highly professional dancer team, us as Latin dancers, and one of her dancers, Sarah Warren. I kept noticing incredible photos that she posted on her Facebook and Instagram. I was looking and looking and looking and looking, and I finally messaged her, Sarah, what do you think if we will take your photo shoot and make it a video? Would you be interested? Back and forth. So making long story short, we got her photos. We got one of her video clips. Vlad Ataman submitted, created music, and our artistic director Jim Big G did video, put everything together, and now it's just waiting for the premiere. It's going to be gorgeous. Not because I have to create, I was overseeing the creation, but it is gorgeous. Okay, wow. So it's going to be a premiere on Magical Arts Nest channel. So they want to post schedule for people to see it. And another one that was done by our own Tatum Parrott. She took a part of Vikings Rhapsody and created a completely new video based on the story of first European woman who discovered America. So it's interesting history, but we'll probably talk about this on another time because it's going to be too long. And I kind of kept the best for last. The best for the last. We got, as I mentioned, we have two live events. One of them is we brought from the last year schedule, last season, that we weren't able to complete 100%. One of the canceled events was a presentation by a legendary Philadelphia journalist who was working in Philadelphia Inquirer for 50 years, Ed Eisen, who met with Muhammad Ali, Mother Teresa, who did public relations for Pope twice when he visited Philadelphia. So he worked with Italian mafia when there was a major trial. So he'd been around. He met quite a few, and now in his early 80s, still very energetic. He's doing Zoom. It turns out he's doing Zoom shows to tell stories about his encounters. And it would be probably one of the following events, but this time, we went back and forth a little bit and decided to do a different kind of event. As you remember, one of the goals of our campaign is to make sure that people stop talking about pop politics, stop actually sharing conspiracy theories and videos, But when I talked to Ed, and he told me about his program, I said, oh my God, we're doing it a little bit, it's hard to tell people don't do this. Don't do, because if you tell people don't do this, they're going to do it anyway,
They'll do
right?
it. Yeah.
Right. So, but what he's doing a show that there's a name Sound Off, and it's a moderated town hall about current politics,
Mhm.
about current events. This goal of actually teaching, not teaching, but kind of restoring people's ability to discuss events in a civilized manner.
Mhm.
Not to yell, not to scream, but argue. Yes, argue, but argue in a normal, civilized manner. So I said, okay, it actually fits our goal very nicely. So it's going to be a live event at 6 o'clock on Zoom. We have all the links on Facebook page, event already set up. And another reason why I asked him to do this event was because it actually fits very nicely with the next one. The name of this event is History of Sound.
Mhm.
So this is another one of those, I would call them dots connector stories, because we have plenty of them. We'll talk about them probably in the next, a lot of them in the next show, in the next episodes. But with this one, it was an introduction from a mutual friend. Again, out of the blue, I received email from a guy that I knew first relatively short time, but we are working on the project together. Possibly very big project, but it's too early to talk. And he introduced me to this gentleman named Danny Daniels. And Danny Daniels is a curator of Museum of Interesting Things. When I looked at the name, I was immediately, wow, what is that? It should be, it's something unusual. So then I went to, I called him at my lunch break. And I'm sorry to say, I was late from lunch. Because when he started to tell me about what he is doing, and he started to tell me his life story. My jaw was down to the floor. Absolutely incredible person, absolutely incredible guy. I asked our storyteller in chief, Laura Kincaid, to interview him.
Mhm.
And she did, and she just completed an article about his life story. So whoever wants to read is on our blog, blogmayfield.com. And we actually talked again about details, and we decided that he's going to be running an hour show, completed from two parts. And first part is the history of recording equipment, starting from Edison tube and up to contemporary recording stuff. And another one is history of sounds itself. So I'm still not 100% clear of what it's going to be, because when I attended one of his events, it's absolutely fascinating. You need to see it. It's impossible to tell. You need to see it. You need to see it to believe it. But it's old. He's got like a whole bunch of old movies, whole bunch of working equipment from late 19th, early 20th century, and now middle of the 50s. So he's got pretty much everything. He's doing shows every week right now.
Wow.
So guy is absolutely fascinating, and and he is well worth this $15 that we ask people to pay. Okay, so I
Mhm.
think I didn't forget anyone.
I don't think so. They all sound incredible.
Mhm.
Um, so after, talking to all these different people, all these different artists from all these different places, what would you say is probably the most inspiring part about getting to interview all these different artists, or what has been the most inspiring part just about putting on this campaign?
Okay, yes, the most inspiring part was to get confirmation from those people that yes, you're doing a very good thing. You're doing the
Mhm,
things that we need, that people need, that actually that works. Again, we have one of the examples is two artists participating in the last marathon. They both, it turns out they're both in Italy,
mhm,
and they both got together and started to work on the project that combined poetry, music, and dance.
mhm,
So I hope for one of the next marathons we'll see this as well. Uh, we got people, we became friends pretty much.
mhm,
We became friends. We working on, now we're working together on different projects with Daniels. Again, we became really fast friends. And I definitely know that after we finish this project, we're going to be doing many more as well. Corey Neely, I believe it's the same way. The way we just talked today, and the way it sounds, we will be seeing each other a lot.
mhm.
So it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding. It's very uplifting. It helps me to channel, to get
Right.
ahead.
Um, what do you hope to accomplish with the campaign? I know you talked a bit about how you kind of want people just to kind of tune out all the really overwhelming like media and all the really overwhelming politics that have been kind of prominent, especially in the last year. Is there anything else you kind of hope to share or accomplish with all the participants?
Yes, one of the big things right now, one of the practical reasons, not just idealistic, altruistic, like you just described. There are a lot of this abundance of virtual events. There's so many.
Mhm,
It's people got really tired. So what we are trying to do is to, first of all, make it concentrating in one day and make sure that people get exposure to things that they normally don't get exposure to.
mhm,
And it's building on our brand, unique events to unite people, because majority of the stuff that we present is unique. Okay, and and definitely we want to increase donations. We want to increase amount of people who subscribe to our channels, especially now when we instead of one channel on YouTube, we have four
mhm.
that just got. So it's going to be introduced right before the campaign. So it's basically our goals.
And what's something that you hope your viewers and people watching will take away from all these interviews?
From all the performances and interviews, the people will, first of all, that they will definitely snap out of their constant political bickering,
Yeah.
and that they understand, they will appreciate arts more and understand that arts and culture is not an afterthought, that shouldn't be cut as the first sign of economic crisis. That
Mhm,
actually it has value and very significant value in terms of health, well-being, psychological well-being. You know, I'm actually right now. I'll like give you a little secret. Uh, I'm not sure if we'll get this video on this campaign, but definitely on the next one. I'm working with this incredible violinist from Russia, who is actually involved in a project with this scientist to make sure, to develop programs that through musical improvisation will help to heal, human psyche, psychological problems.
Uh-huh.
But again, it's just a teaser. It's just a teaser, but from what I've seen, they actually filming the video right now as we speak. Okay, so that's what I hope to achieve. To see that the viewers will appreciate arts more, that they will support arts more, that we will support artists, because artists. I talk to them a lot. Okay, I talk to them a lot. They're incredible people. They are so creative, so interesting, but there is no system of economic support in this country, or especially in this city, in Philadelphia and surrounding area. And I hope, and I work on this, that this will change. Because one thing I always tell this story, and we'll probably finish getting closer to the. When I was in Czech Republic, me and my wife were in Czech Republic on vacation. We came to the museum in the old city, and this museum was a house of some duke or prince, something like that. And I was totally shocked when I saw there the original notes of Beethoven. And I asked a guide, well, why is it here? And she explained, because this prince and another of his friends, they paid Ludwig van Beethoven a salary every month, but guaranteed income, right? Guaranteed income, in order for him not to worry about commercial commissions or trying to make ends meet and create music. And that's why he's one of the greatest composers ever lived. Okay, so it's important.
Very.
Okay.
Well, I think that's all my questions. So thank you so much for talking about everything and explaining more about the Muses campaign and the interviews and the performances. And it sounds really incredible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and I hope we'll see each other soon.
Yep. Thank you, Michael.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.